Hey, YouTube, Rando here. I made this video a couple months ago on this thing. I just put it up the other day, but I made it a couple months ago and I hesitated even putting it up just on, how ugly it was. And I made it because we were looking at those Keychain survival pods you buy for 15 bucks. I can't remember who makes them, but just type in survival pod and it'll come up. And we were just thinking, what could you do with that $15, more or less? And minus this knife, we made this for less than $15. So, and I made it for free. I got it for stuff around the house, but it would cost you less. And there's a lot of better things you can do with it. You can get a different knife for one. This is a good knife. I like it. It's a good pocket knife, but it's not a bushcraft knife by any means. And this is, we could have went with a little nano light, but again, I was just using stuff from around the house that I had, so I just made it. And we decided we're going to go ahead and do something else with this stuff. We're going to make another little survival tent out of it somehow. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I know some of the stuff in here is going to be used for it, so we're going to go ahead and tear it open and show you how much stuff we fit in. It's the palm of your hand. It's like I've said in the previous video, you wouldn't want to use it as a keychain, but you could definitely, and it's not like I think this is going to save your life. It would just come in handy. The light, for one, that's the main thing I liked about it, was just the little light. So we'll tear it open and show you what's in it. And I don't have a tripod, so I'm not going to be able to do this on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and take the cordage off, and then I'll show you where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do it on camera. And I don't know if I'm going to get it all in the shot. If not, I'll just edit this part out of the video. You can tell it's pretty tightly wound. And this is, let me see if I can find it, because I wrote down exactly what it is when I did the video, or when I made it, rather, for the video. And like I said, I wasn't going to put up the video because it is pretty ugly, but I don't care. This is about four feet of just green nylon cordage. It's not, like I said, you can use better items if you have paracord. You could use paracord, of course, and stuff like that. But I was just using stuff that I have here around the house. I think this is probably the stuff that's around the compass here is probably the only electrical tape you won't be able to use, and there's probably about 4.5 feet of electrical tape on here. So let's see if we can, and you could still use some of that. It's still sticky, and it's not all crinkled together, so you could probably still use this little stretch of it if you were careful in removing it, but I'm just going to remove it. So, and there's probably 1.5 feet right there, so it's probably closer to 5 feet of electrical tape altogether on here. Now that's with the binding and everything. That's not just the little roll that's in there around the pencil. So there's your cordage. Let's see. Like this stuff right here. That's not really what I would call added to it. It's just binding, more or less. But there's a lot of electrical tape on here. I like electrical tape. A lot of different uses. And it's just as durable. I like Gorilla Tape too, but again, I didn't have Gorilla Tape, so I didn't use it. But I like electric tape and Gorilla Tape because it doesn't leave behind the sticky on the items. That's my wife's flashlight, by the way. It was just the smallest flashlight we had. But there's another good stretch of electrical tape. I just took it off and did it fast, so for the sake of the video. I've been told my videos are kind of long-winded. There's the little flashlight, and it is bright. I mean, it's pretty bright. So I know somebody's going to say, why didn't you use the Nano? And it's like I already explained, you know, I'm trying to use things that we already have. This little Uncle Henry knife, it's an old knife. It was a grandfather's knife, and I love these little knives, man. They're tiny, lightweight. It's a great pocket knife, and you can get these things razor sharp. And like the little tedious work you do when you're skinning a buck or something, like taking the hide off of it. This is the kind of knife I like to use. I like to use a little knife that I can get back in there, and I know is razor sharp, so it's just going to slice right through that membrane. So I've used this knife on more than one occasion on dressing a deer. So and then you have your little clip here, your little carabiner or whatever. And again, this tape is going to be the same as you know, it's the tape that holds the compass. It's not the only thing that's holding the compass, but it is what holds the compass. This would be more or less just trash, you know. And then through here, I've bred it about, it's got 3 wraps in it. It's probably, I don't know, 5 inches, so it's probably, just to be safe, we'll say a foot of bread tie. I like bread tie too. I use it for a lot of stuff, just hanging my plants. When we cured the tobacco, I cured it with bread tie. So I have big rolls of this stuff, and I use it on a lot of different things. And then, you know, you have your little compass in there. And there is something on the video I said was in here that's not. I forgot to put it, and that was the fish hook. And then there's also a couple things in here I forgot, like the alcohol pads. So just to revise what I said on the first video of what was in it when I was just showing you the pot itself. And just 3 more little pieces of electrical tape. This is kind of time consuming taking it apart, isn't it? Oh God, here goes the dogs. Another little piece of electrical tape. There's 3 of them on here holding this stuff together. Like I said, the binding electrical tape, you wouldn't have to count it, and there's still 3 feet of electrical tape on here, not including all the binding. And we have let's see, it doesn't say, but just a little piece of gauze, little gauze pad. I have a Band-Aid. Thought there was 2 of those, and that's what I said in the other video, but there's not. There's only 1. And then, of course, some more binding. Kind of overdid it with the binding, but then we have a couple of alcohol pads here. Okay. And when I was making this, what made me kind of look at making it was the videos on the Altoid tins is what brought me to the Keychain pod or whatever, and I thought it was a neat idea, but I guess if you're going for a Keychain size piece of survival equipment, it's going to be more of just a joke than anything. And this, like I said, isn't going to save your life, but we're just going to cut this. Cut it, make it easier. Okay. So right here we have 9 waterproof matches. They have the, you see a little piece of my paper came off there. That wasn't supposed to happen. We have some waterproof matches, and then we have the striker for them. And those are just box of Coleman matches, the waterproof kind. Okay, let's see. We have 3, and this isn't the rainy kind, the kind you can write in the rain or whatever. Notebook paper is your regular notebook paper. I only have 3 sheets of that. That's what size it is right there. And then on this pencil, we have some cotton twine that's locked in on itself there. And then we have the 3 feet of electrical tape. And I know that don't look like 3 feet, but I guarantee you if I pull it off of there, it's all of 3 foot. And then the same in medical tape, clear medical tape. There you have it. That's everything we could fit into this. And I know some things that I could have fit that probably wouldn't have took up any room, like a nail. You know, you can turn a nail into a fishing hook, just a little like poster nail that goes in the wall, picture frame nail, whatever. And you know, a sewing needle, a little bit of thread, something like that. Maybe some fishing string. Maybe even a small fishing hook. I think that's why I didn't put the fish hook in here, was because all I had was big ones, or bigger ones anyway, and it kind of might have jabbed you. But that's quite a little bit for that little bitty pack, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a lot more useful than a piece of flint this big. If I recall, it had a little bitty knife in it with a ring on it to put your finger through. That wasn't going to do much. And there's your 2 essentials right there. That's what I would use out of this and this right here before I would use anything else. You know, you got your fire, 9 chances on a fire, and then you have a little flashlight that's bright. And it is kind of womanly, but hey, to each his own. And then here's a little knife, and you could probably get a smaller knife that's more durable, about the same size, same weight probably. And you could probably get the little nano, and it's about that big. So you could do different things with it on yours. Like I said, I'm just using stuff around my house, stuff we already had. I didn't have to go out and buy any of this. That's actually the end off of a survival knife, like the little Rambo knives they make, the cheap ones. And these scissors weren't in there, but I had to use the scissors to open it. You could have used the knife to open it, or you could just took the tape off like you're supposed to and go slow and it would have came off. But this is what I started with, and you've seen what I ended up with. Thanks for watching, YouTube.